Ladies and gentlemen, my name is MackTen and welcome to Diablo 3 Status Update, episode number 50. Today I've got some monk footage from Act 1, basically very similar stuff, always fresh, always new, but always similar. So, there's your eye candy for the day, but that's not why you're here, most likely. The reason you're here is you want to hear about the Diablo news, or rather my opinion of the Diablo news, or else you wouldn't be here. So, today, or rather earlier this week, we got a message from Mike Morhaime. Now, Mike Morhaime, if you look up his posting history as a user on Blizzard's official website, he's only written one article personally himself ever before this, and this was the "Soon was too soon" article. Now, this is a big fucking deal. This is a huge deal that Mike Morhaime himself is writing an article. This means that something has gone terribly wrong, because Mike Morhaime does not come out very often. He came out to tell us soon was too soon, because people were up in arms because Blizzard had announced that at the end of 2011 we would all be playing Diablo 3. As we all know, that was not the case. So clearly there's something going on. Clearly there's a problem. Now, Mike Morhaime basically came out and apologized. He didn't apologize. He apologized with his nose up in the air to some degree. Now, that's not entirely true, but to some degree he says, "Now, I can't ever claim that we've ever had a perfect launch, but we're gonna keep trying, guys." Now, he basically what he's saying in this message is that stick around for patch 1.1 and something good will be here. Mike Morhaime is acknowledging that the game is loaded with problems, and I believe he's even hinting at the fact that the game is not as compulsive as we'd like it to be. Now, I love it when a game is addictive. When a game is addictive, that means it's a good game. That means it's well made. If a game satisfies my compulsions, it's a good game. If a game creates compulsions and is therefore addictive, it can also be a great game. Look at World of Warcraft. Look at Final Fantasy 11, 14, Ion, all your MMOs. They're all compulsion creation machines. But Diablo 3 doesn't create these compulsions, at least not in me. I log on every day, check my auctions, I make $20 or $30 a week, and that's it. And right now, I mean, the money's fine, but I would much rather have a more exciting game to play. So I think in this note, he's acknowledging that due to the lowering numbers of interest, the small amount of traffic that is now being sent to Diablo 3's Reddit compared to what it was before in June or May. In May, I think it was 1.5 million. I mean, we've gone down to a third of what we once were visiting the Diablo Reddit. So it kind of shows me that, and probably Blizzard, I'm sure they've looked at these numbers too, that the numbers are getting smaller. I mean, they're getting much smaller. And the auction house is much smaller than it was before. People don't care as much about the game because it's not as much fun to play. If this were a World of Warcraft situation, I think you'd be much more likely to see a lot more traffic on the auction house. There'd be more demand for shit because there's more stuff to do. So I think there are a lot of inherent problems, and I think this letter is acknowledging it. I think basically what Mike Morhaime wants to say in this letter is everything's going to be okay once patch 1.1 comes out. We're going to make skills that aren't used so much stronger. We're going to imbalance the game a little bit. We're going to buff the skills you don't use to make builds more viable. We're going to put in PvP so that there is an end game. And they said they're putting in ways for high-level players to play the game without necessarily going for an item hunt. So we'll see where that goes in PvE, because they need something in PvE for us to do, because we're fucking bored. But basically, patch 1.1, he's bringing out PvP, they're revamping legendaries, and hopefully this will make the game at least a little more addictive, and I hate that word, but at least a little more enjoyable, at least have a little more life than it currently has. So thank you for watching. This has been Diablo 3 Status Update, episode number 50, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.